Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to be very clear with the practice we do here. So when it comes to our life, not only meditation, our life, most of time we are kind of like a handicap for ourselves. The very reason for that, very nature of the handicap, you have your organs, but you can't use it. It's not functioning, but it is there, it is visible. So sometimes when it comes to our life also, we have the life, we have the mind, we have consciousness, we have awareness, but we are not capable to get the best out of it. And we see things, we are not capable to get into that. So then how you can get out of this and experience yourself, not about the other things, the experience yourself the best as who you are. So when it comes to meditation, that is one thing that you have to focus. Not to gain something from outside, but to become very complete and develop the completion inside you as who you are. So for that as a tool, you have to use your own concentration and awareness. Not something from outside. You can't depend on the outside help. As a human being, you have the best tool in this world. So that is your awareness. So then once you know how to use that awareness, the moment by moment, your life going to become more successful and profitable. So when it comes to our ordinary life, that we have three kinds of activities: bodily action, verbal action, mental actions. And sometimes we become so busy with that all the actions. But that busyness sometimes not going to become profitable for us. So how you can connect your activities to uplift, upgrade your creativity. For that, even in the very conventional life, you need the awareness. Without awareness, you can have many activities, but out of that activities, you can't build up any kind of creativity. So when you don't have the creativity, you can't experience the newness of life. When you can't experience the newness of your life, what will happen? Your mind start to experience a stagnation within your own thoughts. So that means your thoughts going to get stuck again and again, again and again. And when then by the time, as you know, that very technical word, crash, like when the energy start to stuck in your body, it can crash. And out of that crash that you get the cramp. So as example, the computer and sometimes your cell phone, sometimes the machines can get crash. How it happened? The energy is stuck. The flow doesn't work. So when it comes to your mind, your heart, your brain, you name whatever. So if you can't experience the newness, you're going to experience that crash inside you. So out of that, you may experience the depression, anxiety, loneliness, rejection. It's kind of like, you can experience many negative things. And so then most of time, out of our busyness, out of bodily, verbally, mentally action, rather than having this upgrading lifestyle, most of time we experience the downgrade. We go backward. That is where the repetition comes. And how this repetition happen? Because most of time, then maybe you regarding the future, regarding the past. Most of time the people don't know one thing. That is very interesting. The most of people don't know what to do in the moment. They are so smart regarding the past, reflecting on the past and memorizing and repetition, and they are so smart regarding the future. They can plan things, but most of time people doesn't know what to do right now, right here. In this very moment, they don't know how to use your bodily, verbally, mentally actions to upgrade your creativity. So unknowingly, unconsciously, what happens, because of that, out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you create some kind of improfitable things and it will downgrade. So just imagine, maybe you're smart regarding your future, but in the moment you are downgrade, what will happen? It's a moment by moment process. Your imagination is the creativity, and your imagination is so high, but in the moment, unknowingly, you downgrade. So then how you can fix this? To fix that, you have to come to develop the awareness. So if you more develop that skill to sharpen your awareness, as a result of that, what will happen? Your creativity, the upgrading lifestyle, going to become more successful. So when it comes to our ordinary life, we have kind of like arguments from the history to today, from ancient time to today, intelligence and consciousness. And most of time, people in the ordinary life, people so into intelligence. Socially, it has a so kind of like a validation, and people appreciate that. So the very nature of the intelligence is a kind of like a, fixing problems, solving problems. and you bring the solutions to problems. And when you have that ability, people appreciate you. And that is very necessary in our life as ordinary people. But the consciousness has a different skill. So the consciousness means the ability to feel and understand or the recognize feelings. Just imagine you are so intelligent, but if you can't recognize the feelings, what will happen? You are so intelligent, so you are so smart, but if you neglect the feelings, what will happen? And at the same time, you are so into feelings, but when the situations come, you can't handle it. Then what will happen? So then you have to come to the point to balance your intelligence and consciousness. When it comes to balance the intelligence and consciousness, these both work together. It's kind of like the light and the shadow. You can't separate it. It comes together as a cause and effect. So the intelligence and the consciousness you have to do. Consciousness, because of the consciousness, you become intelligence. But the thing is, we become so smart to kind of like look into outside and recognize the outside using that intelligence, analyze the outside, but we don't put that much attention to inside us. So then by the time what will happen, you lose that. That's why as children, if you look your life little by little, when you become an adult, one thing happened to you, you lose your consciousness. Maybe you develop your intelligence, but you lose your consciousness. As children, they have the so sharp and clear consciousness, less intelligence, but by the time it's different. So then you have to balance this always. You have to be conscious. That means ability to recognize feelings. And at the same time, you have to be intelligent. So that's mean bringing solutions to situations. But in the middle, there is something. There is a hindrance in the middle. When you try to balance this both, what happens? In the middle, that your emotions going to stand. It is start to have arguments, debates. It's always claim something. So you have to recognize that. So otherwise, what will happen? Your emotions will overtake your consciousness or your intelligence. So from where the emotions come? So as a very common way to understand the emotions, energy in motion. So what is that energy means? Energy means the pattern of thoughts. So as example, that the repetition of a thought has the ability to create energy. So any kind of mental image, when you repeat again and again, it creates a certain kind of energy. And any kind of words, if you repeat again and again, it creates certain kind of energies. That's how all this mantra, the chanting, sutras, so this everything has. So in your mind, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, you have done something within your life. That is what? The repetition. By action, by thoughts, by words. So now it is the energy yourself. That energy itself not belong to your emotions or not belong to your consciousness or not belong to your intelligence. It's more kind of like an independent. And you can't see it, but it is there. So, but what happens when your intelligence or when your consciousness try to interfere with something, it will appear. So then you have to deal with it. Otherwise, it can wash you away. So the awareness is the key, guard, protection for you. When you become conscious or when you become intelligence, to protect that intelligence or the consciousness, rather than allowing your emotions to mix with it. So once you're aware, you will see that. So the seeing itself allows you to get out of it. So remember, anything is not bad. These are the behavior of our own human mechanism, human mind. Just recognizing it is the way to get out of it. Not to do something else, but to recognize. So that recognition, that mechanism, that method we call as the satipatthana. So sharpening and recognizing and the seeing it by developing your awareness. So for that, you can't do it by thinking. So then what will happen? Then the thinking pattern again and again manipulate the system. And that is what happened in the world today. You know, in the ancient time, we used to manipulate the outside world, this nature. But now the worst thing, we are manipulating our inside world, our mind, within our own thoughts. So that's why practicing meditation is a kind of like you developing a very kind of like a very organic way of method yourself to develop your very mental ecological system. You know, it's a kind of like a very, the scientific words, because that when it comes to ecology, that you are very sustainable to maintain your environment itself, keep that very organic way of functioning and kind of like getting benefit out of it and becoming more natural and grounded. So now you use it to your own mind. Because as example, we have so much unnatural things, and even that as example, artificial intelligence, it's completely artificial, even though it is intelligent. It has a power to fix problems, but it is not very real, very organic way of kind of like a result. But now today, as very ordinary and normal people, we depend from that. So we depend from these artificial things, and we try to build up a very natural way of lifestyle. How it can be? Another thing is the artificial organs. Look, that sometimes we bypass artificial organs to ourselves, and we look for a very natural lifestyle. You know, how then you can get into that? So then remember, the only thing is you have one thing, and it cannot be artificial, and it cannot create somewhere else. It happens inside you. That is your consciousness, recognition. And even all the machines and technology, that everything will try to match it, but it is very difficult. And in Silicon Valley, everywhere through the scientific labs, laboratories, they have kind of like a fantasy or imagination, to build up this, to connect that human consciousness or the recognition, and they try to transplant it to machines. But in this very moment, what is happening within you, this recognition, and looking at this screen, what you experience, there is no way through the machine you can get it. There's no way. It can happen only by a very natural human being. There's no any other way. So that's why you have to remember this, what we experience. There's no anywhere else in this universe as another kind of like higher living beings can get that. It can happen only through the human mind, consciousness. So then focus to that and develop it, because that is the gift that you have. So once you sharp it, develop it, create it, upgrade it, and out of that you always experience the newness. That newness is the blessings. And if you are capable to get that, from that point, then your transformation, your liberation, your ultimate bliss of Nibbana going to be the next result. So then give your best for the moment and try to experience it rather than waiting for something else, and look into that and see. So try to balance your consciousness and intelligence. And through meditation, that is what we do. So as example, when it comes to meditation, the very important tool that we use, consciousness through the awareness to recognize the feelings. And when the feelings arise, and in that way, very moment, there are some kind of emotions arise to react to that. Listen this very carefully and catch it. Okay. So when you use the consciousness with the awareness, you will recognize the feelings. So recognizing feelings is the nature of the consciousness. And once you recognize the feelings, what will happen right away? There are certain kind of reactions come out of that feelings, and it kind of like you have to do an action to select, to do an action as a reaction to feelings desired by your intelligence. So as example, I have a kind of like a pain on my shoulder. So recognizing that is the consciousness. So I have a pain here. But in this very moment, to react to that, or go with my left hand and touch it and little bit, squish the muscles and massage, it done by the intelligence. Or not to do that and keep my left hand away. So to recognize that and take that decision, I have to have some kind of intelligence. But when it happened that way, to do this action in the middle, what will happen? The emotions arise. And if I don't see the emotions, what will happen? That my actions can happen out of that emotion, and I will do something very crazy maybe. And maybe I start to blame to something or somebody, and I become disappointed myself, or maybe I get more kind of like have the desire to resist the pain. So that kind of many reactions can now do. So, but now, if you see the pain, recognize it, and you become so intelligent to observe and see what is this, how this happened, from where it comes, what is the nature of it. So that way, what will happen, that emotion part start to settle down there and transform it to and fund or provide the more strength to be intelligent. So that is how you become, you transform your emotions to intelligence. So that is the beauty of the consciousness. So if you don't balance this both, your consciousness and intelligence, maybe out of this all, end of the day, you're going to get only emotions. So when you have only the emotions, what will happen? Always your life going to be with full of dramas. So that's what happened. Your life going to be with full of dramas, and once it become like that way, each and everybody around you, you start to see like part of your drama. It's kind of like when you have the hammer, you start to see that everyone around you like, head of nails. We don't need that. No one deserves that. You don't need to be that. Okay? So then that's why out of this practice, when you recognize and you transform that, your emotions, and you become intelligent, conscious, and out of that, your actions upgrade to provide more creativity, and that's going to be the ultimate result of your human life or the consciousness. That's mean the newness. So just imagine moment by moment, moment by moment, if you are capable to experience the newness of your life, how beautiful it is. So it is right now, right here, it is within you, it is around you. So then only things go and claim it. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. And take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it and do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.